All right, guys, we are live, and I have the pleasure of having on all the way from France one of the editors of my film of the year and the critically acclaimed film, The Substance. Let's bring on Jérôme Eltabet.
Hi.
Hi, Jérôme. How you doing?
Yeah, fine. In Grey Paris, it's kind of winter,
Nah,
cold, and
I wish I was there instead of here in New York.
ah, I
Hey,
wish I
Matt.
would be in New York. Me. Anyway,
My friend Matt. Hey, what's up, Matt? Bonjour. Just wondering if you got any spare green vials. He wants some substance.
hold on. In the kitchen, maybe
Yeah.
I have some spare one in the
He
kitchen.
keeps it around somewhere in the kitchen. But yeah, welcome and congratulations just to you and everybody who worked on this film. I mean, to Coralie Fargeat. How do you say your last
Fa-
name again?
yeah, Farja.
Fargeat. That's it. I would have never got that if I didn't ask you beforehand. But congratulations to her, to Demi Moore, who just won the Golden Globe last night, which was fantastic to see. And I think it's interesting too that she started in horror. Demi's first film was Charles Band's Parasite in '82. So now to see her win the Golden Globe for this great body horror film, in 2024, it was fantastic to see her win that. But congrats on the success of it all.
Yeah, we are very happy. We didn't expect that because it
Yeah.
was very long and demanding work, and at some times we thought, we don't know how it's going to end. But because of Festival of Cannes, I guess, and
Yeah.
the scenario prize, the movie had a crazy adventure, I would say. Crazy
Oh,
journey.
for sure. I'm sure making it was just as much of a journey as watching it is for all of us who watched it for the first time, and we're just blown away because this. It's not often that you get a movie like this in the horror genre, especially that just every few years it'll come along a movie like this that'll really like test the boundaries of the genre and will just bring you something that you have never seen before. And that's what this movie did, in my opinion, is that this movie just brought something to the genre that was missing for a little bit. And it's one of the best movies I've seen in years. And it's everything about it. It's the cinematography, the camera work, the editing, which we'll get into. You guys did excellent. The sound design, the acting, the screenplay, which had won best screenplay for Cannes, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's. I guess Jean was a good way for Coralie to tell her story. Uh,
Mm.
she wanted something strong to tell her story, something like, and the genre was the way to tell her story, I guess. And she's really a big fan of genre, and she doesn't like in her movie too much speech, too much dialogue.
Yeah.
So she really loves to tell the story by the footage, by the sound, by the feeling. And I guess that was a great way to tell her story. And uh, and I think the meeting with Demi Moore and also Margaret Colette, Dennis Quaid, but Demi was the one to do
That's
the
great.
movie because it's kind of a little bit of her story, and she was the perfect one to do it. And I think she brings something very strong. And her speech at the ceremony for the Golden Globe was
Yeah.
really nice and moving. And
I thought it was great. It
mm,
was great hearing her, and it was so cute. It was that she didn't expect that at all.
yeah,
Like she said, "I didn't expect this," and I was rooting for every single category for you guys, but I know the Academy and all those award shows and stuff, they don't favor horror movies
no.
much, compared to other things. So it would have been surprising, and so I guess she was very surprised, and it shows, and it was great. She gave a great speech. So how did you get into filmmaking, into editing and stuff? Tell us your little journey, how you got into the industry.
Uh, I started as an assistant director for advertising and movie and stuff like this. And I was working with a director, kind of a famous one, who made some really nice advertising, like first Heineken for stuff like this and everything. I think he had awards in the USA and everything, but he was a little bit old, so he didn't have any more job, and so I didn't have any more job neither. So one friend of mine asked me if I want to take his job, and he was starting to become an editor, and he asked me if I wanted to take his job as an assistant editor. So I said yes. At the beginning, it was a very bad experience for me because I was used to movie set and lots of people, lots of actors, and something really dynamic and meeting people. And I started in a small room, to do some copy or stuff like this for tape copy, and it was kind of boring and by yourself and stuff like this. But little by little, I became an editor, and I began to enjoy this part of work, and that's how it started. And after, with Coralie Fargeat, the director, we have been knowing each other for almost 20, 25 years, something like this.
I was going to ask you that because I was pretty sure just from the way you guys work together and how close it seemed all you guys work together, it seemed like you guys all knew each other for a while. But I was going to ask you if you knew her prior to working on this. So yes, a long while.
So yeah, she started in the industry by a little series. In French, we say l'effet cloche. It's I don't know if she's very proud of it now. I mean, it was a long time ago, but it doesn't look at what she's doing now at all. But anyway, she was playing a fairy, and she was also a director, and I was the editor of this little series for kids. And she was really interested into editing, and so I thought I might teach her how to edit, because she wanted to feel the thing, to cut, put a song, put something, so that's how it started. And after, she did lots of different stuff, but we have been working mainly together for Revenge and her first feature movie. And the way we work is she edit as well. So usually, for example, for The Substance, I started during the shooting, the filming, and but after she likes to take some sequences. First, the one, for example, for The Substance, it was Sue Barnes, when Sue's born,
the birth scene.
Yeah, the birth. She has really this in mind, and she couldn't explain it what she wanted. It's really something she had in her mind, but
so you have to translate it onto the screen.
Edit it. Yeah, so she spent, I don't know, 3 weeks or just doing this sequence. She wanted this perfect, and sometimes I did some sequence. I send it to her. She do some change, and we do like this. We share the sequences, and but mainly we don't work together. We speak, but each one in our room, editing room.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. And I mean, the editing is one of the highlights of the movie. And when we were talking leading up to this, I was saying how it reminded me of Darren Aronofsky's Requiem for a Dream. And I said that this, you could see the Stanley Kubrick influences all throughout the movie, and same with David Cronenberg, and then some David Lynch too I see in the movie, who's a favorite director of mine. And just all those different influences. But then I noticed a lot of the editing had a little bit of Requiem for a Dream to it, and then I found out that it was an influence on the movie.
Yeah, that was one of the main influence for the movie. But as you said, for the editing, the rhythm and the crazy thing with the TV, for example, with the food, with all those kind of things. But because it's also there is not too much camera move in The Substance. so there is lots of editing, lots of very close up, lots of different some wide shot, very close up stuff like this, and so that was very lots of work for for the editing process, but also we really I guess made second life for the movie in the editing room. But we have been working for a very long time, like almost 2 years more. I have said it lasts 2 years, but maybe more than 1 year, more than 1 year. So lots of research. It was kind of experimental job. Sure. Every weekend we came back with different music, and we try this one, we try this one, and the sound effect and stuff like this. And we have been more working for each sequence and try to make the perfect sequence, and after make all the sequence together and see what story it tells.
Yes. I mean, editing is so important to how a movie is made. I mean, in the feel for the movie too. Like with the shrimp sequence, how is editing that? Because anyone could film a scene of somebody eating shrimp disgustingly like that. But to edit it and shoot it in the way that you guys did for this movie, it really is a standout scene in the early movie because of just the way that it's edited. How is working on that whole scene with Dennis Quaid eating that shrimp?
Maybe we had, I'd say, 200 different cuts of this sequence, but for each sequence, it's a bit but because also the film was too long, very too long, so we have to make it shorter. Condense it. But she shot it with no sound. Those very disgusting close up on the shrimp. And after, I guess one of the main things was the sound, and it has to be disgusting. It has to represent this character, this producer. So it has to be the most disgusting. And we were supposed not to discover Demi Moore too early in the sequence. It has to, like, he doesn't really care about, he speaks and eats and everything.
He does whatever he wants. It don't matter who he's in front of. Right.
That was sorry.
Go ahead. No, you go
ahead. So it was very fun, but sometimes very nerve-wracking because Coralie wants really the perfect thing for each sequence, and she's very sensitive, so she doesn't really explain or tell what she wants or everything, but you have to propose her things, and she needs to have the goosebump, to say, okay, that's okay, that's
when she still see what was in her mind.
Exactly.
That's what I was thinking of. That's what I was picturing in my head. That's good. And like, so it's a lot of work. It's a lot of bringing different ideas. And because I know that I read that she wrote the script like very detailed, the screenplay and everything. That it was like even close-up shots were written in there. Like she was had a perfect vision for exactly what you wanted.
Even when you read the script, you it's like you watch a movie. For example, for important stuff, she put some really big character and things like this, like huge character or small character. So it was but first when I read the script, so I thought, the ending with the theater and all this ending, I thought, this is going to be very difficult, and the movie is turning to something really crazy. So I was kind of excited about it, but I was a little bit scared also because
just knowing the work it was going to be
the work, and also you don't know how it's
going to be received too.
Because it goes in a kind of different direction, I would say. But
it's definitely different for sure is a word you can use. It's one hell of an ending that because I've watched the movie 4 times already.
Oh, great!
And I showed it. We actually on Christmas Eve. I was with my family. All 4 of us watched it, and just watching the people's reactions Like,
Yeah.
if you've seen it and you're with someone who hasn't seen it, the reaction and, like, even to the 3rd act, it's I keep saying to the people I'm watching it with, like, "You still haven't seen anything yet, like, where this movie's where it goes." Like, even after all the craziness as it goes on, it's like you
Yeah.
still haven't seen anything, and they're like, "How can it get any crazier than this?" Then it plays out, and they just go, "Holy shit, like, this is unbelievable." But it's amazing how she had this whole thing thought out so well, and so perfectly in her mind, and how you guys were able to realize that, and bring it to life. What would you say were some of the hardest sequences working on?
Uh, I will say the theater, with Monstro Elizasu,
Yeah,
because it
I would figure
like
that.
there's 1 week of shooting with 3 or 4 camera. There is like, I don't know, 50 hours. I don't know. I don't remember. But there is so much stuff, and the story is not easy, and because at the beginning it was very long, lots of different stuff, and
Yeah,
so that was and at the end she wanted something, um, I would say something strong, like to put in the face of the audience. She wanted something like a rock and roll, something like a
yeah,
very, but to make it to, I would say that was the most difficult sequence. Yeah, for sure.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I can imagine. I mean, just also not even just the editing and all that, but all the prosthetic work and the effects work
yeah,
that went into that is unbelievable. It really goes like Sam Raimi, Evil Dead, like
yeah,
just through the roof, blood everywhere. I mean,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
really wild.
It was, I think, they, she said like 20,000 liters of fake blood.
Wow. Yeah.
It was a fire. How do you say a fire? Who spread the
Oh yeah,
water?
like a fire hose type thing, spraying it off.
Like
Yeah,
everywhere,
it
and
looks amazing though.
and
I
it,
mean,
it re-
it is over the top as hell, but it in such a great fun like way. I mean, I could see some people, and I've heard this criticism a little bit
yeah,
that people think it goes over the top a little at the end. It
yeah.
either
Some
works for
people,
you or it doesn't.
yeah,
It works for me 1,000%. I mean, it
yeah,
it just
depending,
fits
yeah,
so well.
yeah. For some people, it's a bit too much. They don't.
Yeah,
They don't trust the story anymore. They don't. But
yeah.
yeah,
No, I think it's great.
uh, yeah. But the thing is, yeah, as you said, Coralie didn't want to go too much for CGI. So
Yeah,
most of the
I'm
film is
glad.
with prosthetic and everything. That's why she had a very long shooting, filming, like was about 6 months. And
Wow.
the funny thing, I mean, everything has been shooting in France, in the old studio in Paris Metropolitan, and for example, for the apartment of Demi Moore, was supposed to be located in LA. They used a really old technical with a, I don't know this in English, but there is a picture of LA. You have
Okay,
to
yeah,
project 30 meters away from the thing, and it works very well. So she didn't want any green screen or LED screen, stuff like this. So most
yeah.
of the movie is like for Monstro, it's a bit like The Fly. So that was a reference. And but sometime we had also for the theater we had to choose the shot where the monstro doesn't look too fake. So that was one
Okay.
issue also
Yeah, yeah, that's great.
to deal with.
I mean, no, yeah, you could, and that's something that shows too throughout them because I'm not a huge fan of CGI unless it has to be used. Like, if I'm not a big like Marvel, I don't watch any Marvel movies or any of those
Yeah,
big movies like that. So I love my practical effects, especially in horror
yeah,
movies. So like, it's always great seeing films like this that stay the practical route, like as much as possible, or like as close to 100% as possible, unless where they have to, like in cases that you mentioned. But
yeah,
it's great seeing that she wanted to go the whole practical route because I mean, she seems like a huge horror fan her entire life, as you said
yeah.
earlier. She's always loved
Yeah,
horror.
I think, but yeah, she's kind of a fan of 80s movie, 80s, 90s
Yeah.
movie. So at this time, I guess the CGI was not that great, so maybe they had to do it like this.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's, I guess she's a big fan of this kind of movie. And even for the birth of Sue, it's kind of on the spot, you know, and
Yeah.
and it's quite cool for editing because you don't have green screen, you don't have thing you have to think
Yeah.
it's going to be different. So everything looks kind of real. What you get, you get the true material for the editing.
Yeah, because I can't imagine even more work that would have been added if there was a lot of green screen and CGI and stuff like that.
Yeah,
With the
that's
editing,
true.
and then it adds even more to all of it.
Yeah, but
Now,
for the memo, I guess it was kind of tough, and also Margaret quite a tough
yeah,
job for them because lots of naked sequence and lots of prosthetic, like 6-8 hours to become what she becomes.
yeah. I
Yeah,
love the title cards that they put up like throughout the movie. That Elizabeth, then Sue, then Monstro,
Elizabeth,
Alyssa.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
great. Like that adds a lot of charm to a movie. Like that,
Okay,
it
cool. Yeah.
has like that self-awareness a little bit, and that fun to it. Like so, when I first saw the title card for Elizabeth pop up, I said, "All right, cool. They're gonna have title cards through there." Then when we finally see at the end and Monstro Elizabeth Alyssa's suit
Yeah.
comes up, I started like clapping almost. I was like, "This, all
Oh,
right,
cool.
great job." Like all of it's just very, very well done. Now, were you always a fan of the horror genre, or is that something you got into a little later? Or
Yeah, I was not a huge fan, but I loved it. Uh, I do remember my father is a huge fan of cinema, and
Mm,
I remember he brought me to, for example, a fantastic film festival in Paris in a very famous theater, Le Grand Rex. Le Grand Rex. I don't know
okay.
if you guys know, but anyway, it's a big cinema, and it was a crazy night. I was maybe 12 years old and something like this, and we saw Reanimator from
Great.
Stuart Gordon, and in the same night was a Reanimator and Blue Velvet, David
I love
Lynch. So I was like amazed. Oh, those two movies was
that.
blowing my
One
mind.
hell of That's one hell of a double header, double feature there. I mean, I love both of those movies. Reanimator is a favorite, and so is Blue
Yeah, is
Velvet.
it?
I mean, both of those movies are just phenomenal.
Yeah, yeah. I guess Reanimator could be an aspiration for the substance a little bit, but I
Yeah.
mean,
Oh
she
yeah,
didn't.
I could see a little bit. I could see a little
Yeah,
Stuart Gordon
but
in there. I just had Richard Band on last week, who did the music for Reanimator.
cool. Yeah, I
Yeah,
need to watch.
he was great.
I uh, I need to watch it again. I didn't watch it for ages, but
Yeah, it's the 40th anniversary
oh
of
yeah,
it
is it?
this year.
Okay.
Yeah, you should throw it. Yeah, if you get a
Oh yeah.
chance, watch it. Have a
Okay.
nice little rewatch for the anniversary.
Okay. I need to do this, but yeah, but I guess our main inspiration was, as you said, Requiem for Dream, The Fly, maybe The Shining, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, The Fly.
Also, from Darren Aronofsky, Black Swan, I guess,
Okay.
for the
Yeah.
makeup stuff. Well, she, yeah, she loves this kind of movie. She loves Carpenter. She loves Cronenberg. She loves David Lynch. As I guess everyone loves them.
Yeah, I don't know anyone. I don't know too many people who don't love Lynch.
Yeah,
But no, and it's great because she still has her own distinct style,
yeah,
despite like that. Because sometimes you will watch a movie and you could see all the influences, and
mm,
it can just feel like influence, like it's just homages and stuff like that. But it's not its own thing. That's not how her style is. Like you could see the influences there, but it's
yeah,
still her own style that she has, which is
yeah.
very important.
Yeah, that's when she doesn't hide it. I think it's obvious, like this sequence looks a bit like this shot looks a bit like, but
Yeah,
as you said, she makes something new with this, and also it's good for the young people who didn't see The Shining, who didn't see those kind of
Yeah,
those,
yeah.
maybe because on the social networks they speak, they say, "Oh, it looks like this," and so maybe after they saw the substance, they want to see some old
Yeah.
great movie like this. Yeah,
Which is always great because with the new generations all the time, there's a lot of classics that they don't know about. And those
yeah.
are all definitely director influences and movie influences. Those are things that they want to check out if they haven't. What projects are you working on? Any projects now, or have anything coming out, or what's the
Um,
future with you?
yeah, I'm working on a documentary. I do
Okay.
documentary as well, and
Nice.
about kibbutz Be'eri in Israel, who have been attacked. The 7th of October. So it's
Mhm.
about the story of kibbutz. So it's kind of a special thing as well. But anyway, and the cool thing about this is I have to go to Miami to finish the
Oh,
cutting.
nice. Cool.
So and after go to LA for the we have a nomination for the ACAD award, so that will be
Oh,
a
great.
very cool journey too. Yeah,
Oh, that's awesome, man. Yeah, I just want to say thanks for giving your time to come on and talk about this
sure.
amazing
you're,
movie, and would
you're
definitely
welcome.
love to have you on again in the future after you have something else, another project come out.
Okay,
Let's
great. Great. I hope
yeah,
Coralie will come with me next time
yeah,
to talk
yeah.
to talk to.
If you talk
Yeah,
to her, let me
uh,
know, and we'll
yeah.
talk more. But
Okay,
everybody watching now, anyone in the future watching, this is Jerome Eltabet,
okay.
co-editor of The Substance. Thank you for being here, man.
Thank you, GT, for all your great work as well. Thank you.
Thanks, man.
Okay,
Hang on one second. I'll thank you again. Take care, everybody.
okay. Bye bye.